And we are live. Before we start this conversation with the victim here, I want to state this is a very serious case, and it broke today, and this is very alarming. My thoughts on nonprofits is they need to be watched more closely. I believe that probably 99% of nonprofits are scams. That's just my opinion, especially whenever they are put out there by people that claim to be Christians and good people for all to see their good works. Christy, what happened today? It rocked the whole internet. I've even seen people that I thought were my friends getting upset with me for breaking the news here, even though this is a breaking story with this woman that is running this nonprofit that was arrested for kidnapping of all cases. Christy, what happened today?
So today, the CEO of Reflections Ministry was arrested. Investigators alleged that the child's mother had signed temporary guardianship paperwork while giving birth to address potential medical emergencies, but did not surrender her parental rights. Court records state that Bounds later sought permanent guardianship of the child. A judge denied that request and ordered the child returned to his mother. She did not return the child to his mother. After the child was returned, efforts were made to locate the mother and child through third parties, resulting in additional concern raised by investigators. Bounds was arrested and booked into the Midland County Jail on a charge of kidnapping. No bond had been set at that time. Bond was set later on at $150,000. She only had to put down 10%, which was $15,000. She is out now. It says that Reflection Ministries is a nonprofit organization that works with individuals who have experienced human trafficking.
Okay, so this came across my desk. I made a story, posted it, bunch of blowback. For some weird reason, a lot of people that are in Midland are connected to her. They know her. They want to defend her. All I did was state and post what was put on the affidavit and the police report. I don't know why people are mad at me. I don't give a flip. Straight up, we're non-biased to a certain degree. Hey, I'm a Christian. I'm a Trumper. But the point is this. This is unacceptable, and this woman was arrested. Christy, you said earlier, with your case history, if someone's arrested for something like this is not a slap on the wrist. There's an investigation, correct?
Absolutely. If you arrest somebody, you have to have probable cause. You have to have evidence. She is definitely, and people can have their own opinions. I still live by the rule innocent until proven guilty, but I will tell you that kidnapping is usually a felony. So that means that federal charges, possibly kidnapping, could go on federal charges. And if so, then they had to go through a DA, a prosecutor, all kinds of things to get these charges going. A police officer just can't take the word of somebody and just go
Okay.
shut down a ministry and arrest somebody. They have to
Okay.
have evidence.
So I want to basically state what I made a video. Basically, this woman had somebody having a baby at her ministry, or I'm not saying there, but this lady was part of her ministry, had the baby. She signed over custody rights in case something went bad during the birth. Once the baby was born, this lady started calling the pregnant woman that had the child the surrogate mother. Kind of weird, and became obsessive. That's what the affidavit states, and even named the child a different name than what the mother wanted to. So basically, she goes to Dallas, goes into a hotel, and is charged for kidnapping. I don't know. She was staking out this person's home and arrested for kidnapping the leader of a Christian, I would imagine, nonprofit. Sorry, y'all. That was the most we're going to talk tonight. We have a victim of this woman. Trinity, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Trinity, before we get started, where were you at today? You said you were somewhere. Where were you at today?
I was in an interview with Homeland Security from Dallas.
And what did Homeland Security tell you? Because you're speaking to us. You're going to be speaking to the news Friday, correct? But you gave us the interview first. Thank you. But what did Homeland Security tell you when you told them that you're going to start speaking about this?
They said they wanted me to come in. They found my files and everything else and my birth certificates and everything that they kept from me even after leaving. And they said that they wanted to speak with me And so I told them I would do that. And so I went to go see them today. We had a whole meeting. It was me and a ex coworker that used to be there, because I used to be an ex resident there, not a worker. And they wanted to hear everything that I had to say and what was going on. And they also let me know that they are doing, it's going to be a big investigation. And this is just something they wanted to lock her up for now. And that they're finding more stuff and that more people in that organization will be soon arrested as well.
And again, back to what I asked you earlier, when you told them that you're going to speak to people in the media, what did they tell you?
They told me that I can speak on anything. It's my story. And as long as I speak on facts and everything like I have been with the investigator and the Homeland Security, they said I'll be just fine to go tell my story.
Okay, so for the naysayers that are defending this monster, shame on them. But you're actually with Homeland Security giving your testimony, and they okayed you to speak to the public, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's start here. We're going to go from the very beginning. Me and Christy love to do a thorough, interview here. You started at the nonprofit Reflection Ministries. From when to when, and what brought you in there? You're a trafficking victim yourself, correct? Go ahead.
Yes, sir. I was rescued April 4th of 2025. I was on the Midland news. And Lisa Bounds, we were brought into, they took all of us into jail, and then the detectives came to see me and the other females. They had our phones and were going through all of our information. And then they brought to my attention that there was a program called Reflection Ministries that's supposed to be really good to help get me on my feet and to help me find healing and to put me in school and all this other stuff. So of course I'm like, yeah, I want to do that. Like, I want to be able to, put this in my past and actually do something with my life, And so Lisa Bounds picked me up from the Midland jail on April 6th, and that's my first day.
She picked you up personally?
Personally.
Okay. Continue. Sorry for interrupting you. Go ahead.
And then after that, so on April 6th, I went there to Reflection Ministries, to they call it the Village, and that's where they have 5 cottages. They're houses, but they call them 5 cottages. And that's whenever I was there.
And whenever she picked you up, what did she tell you? How did she act? Is she a Christian? I think they claim that she's a Christian. Is she a Christian in your opinion, the way she treated you?
Not at all.
Why?
And before I went there, she asked me, she was like, hey, I'm going to bring you over here. I'm going to get you out of here. And can I trust you? You're not going to try to run and leave, right? And that already kind of rubbed me the wrong way, because I'm like, what do you mean? But I'm hearing that, at the same time, I'm already going through so many different emotions from just being rescued. And so I'm not really paying much attention to anything else. I'm just like, yes, like, help me, like, get me out of here. I don't have no family here, no nothing. I'm not from Midland, Odessa.
So you thought that? Why do you think that was odd?
Because I'm like, why would she ask if I was gonna just leave or something or run? And if that she could trust me, I'm thinking like, shouldn't you be asking me if I can trust you?
Right. Maybe even she had somebody else do that in the past. Who knows? Okay, so she picks you up and takes you to the village. Were there any red flags? Did you think it was kind of weird? Anything odd about the village?
When you first
when the
arrived,
lady,
yeah.
When I first arrived, I wasn't talking to nobody. I didn't want to speak to anyone. I just went into the room that they had for me there. And I just sat there for a while in darkness, and I asked if I could speak to my family, but they have a policy where you can't do that for the first 30 days. So I understood that, but I just sat in the room and I just cried and cried. And they said, one of the ladies that was a resident inside the house too, she was very welcoming, but another lady kind of looked like, they're like, welcome, but she was like looking like, that look when someone's like kind of like trying to tell you something, but they can't.
Oh, okay.
And so I kind of picked up on that energy a little bit too, because, being a trafficking victim, when you're put in different situations, you get to, you can get to kind of where you can read people and their intentions. So I knew she wanted to say something but didn't, because the other girls that I was being trafficked with, we used to look at each other like that when something bad was about to happen or we knew something.
Okay. And you told us your trafficking story. I don't want to actually state any of that. Me and Christy heard it. Very tragic. And anybody out there, my audience, I don't want to say take my word for it, but you could take my word for it. She told me the story, and it's graphic in detail. And I would just say that this woman was trafficked, and it's a very sad situation. And she went to Reflection Ministries for help. So you stayed there, and what else happened? Can you just talk about your stay there before we get into this breaking news of this woman being arrested on a third-degree felony for kidnapping? What else happened there? Any other red flags? How was your stay there at Reflection Ministries with Lisa?
Well, at first it was welcoming, but then as soon as I started not seeing any progression with me getting any counseling or, put into college or anything else like that, or being able after that 30 days of not being able to talk to anyone, even after that, I started asking a bunch of questions of like what's really going on here, and then they labeled me as manipulative. They isolated me. I wasn't able to talk to any of the other residents there, and the staff members were told to report everything I ask and everything I say. And I was forced to stay outside the village. So from 7:50 to around 5, they would keep the doors locked of the house, and I would have to be outside scrubbing bird poop off the grounds. And I had to write a 5-page essay and of manipulation. And they used the scare tactic. They kept telling me that if I was to leave, I was going to be charged with all these federal charges, just like my abductor. And I'm like, why,
Well,
and I
hold
don't
on.
have nobody I can talk to.
Hold on. You said just like you're a abductor. So you said earlier, what kind of place is the village and this Reflections Ministry? You said a certain kind of you described it a certain way. How did you describe it earlier?
The villages, they call them cottages. It's the
No,
houses
but
that they
you said
have
it was a
out
prison.
there.
You said something
No,
about it was a
the
prison.
5-star. Yep. Yep.
5-star prison.
You called it a 5-star prison, and you just said that you equated to the person that trafficked you in a similar way. Why is that?
Because we were isolated. I was isolated from everyone, and I wasn't able to speak to any of my family members. And when they kept telling me that if I was to leave, I was going to be charged with all these federal charges, just like him and the other people, I was like, why is that? And then I kept asking if I could speak to the Homeland Security or the investigators that were on my case, and they kept denying me being able to do that. So I was really scared. I'm like, why would they lie about this, because these are the only people I have in my life right now, and I'm isolated. I'm
Wow.
not able to speak to anyone outside of the world.
Let me ask you a question.
So
So, hold on, hold on. Were there any other girls that felt the same way you did? Because I'm imagining. I hate to bring up my daughter, but my daughter or someone else's child that's there alone just got out of a bad situation. You just got out of jail, or you were in jail, correct? Or where were you at?
Yes, sir.
What were you in jail for?
Midland County. Because they rescued us and they just took us all in. So that way they can figure out the whole story, and then they can see who's the victim and who's not.
Oh,
And so
okay.
they went through everything, all the messages on everyone's phones. They had websites and everything else. And then that's whenever they offered to me, like, there's this program that will help you.
Okay. So,
she was not
wow.
arrested. I just want to make
This
that clear that they held her like to interview. And because I saw a message come through that said, something about her being in jail. After she was removed from her abductor, is whenever they took all of the girls to the Midland County Jail to be interviewed.
This is crazy. This is like a real case. I guess this is how it happens when they catch a group or they catch a guy or whatever doing whatever with women. Or I want to be vague with this because she told me the story and you can piece it together, ladies and gentlemen. I have a question for somebody. Shout out Sister Daisy. God bless you, sister. God bless you in the name of Christ. Our sister. She said, was she bailed out or did she get put under Lisa's responsibility?
I was just told that she was gonna pick me up and that I was gonna be in her program and that they were gonna help me.
Okay.
It was
So
it was her free will though. Yeah, she wasn't that.
oh,
Yeah, she didn't have to be bailed out or anything.
okay.
She wasn't court ordered
No.
there.
So Trinity, were there other girl? I don't know if I asked you earlier, but were there other girls that were similar to you there? What were their attitudes about this nonprofit?
They kept saying how they were gonna leave and everything, and a couple of girls that were there have jumped the fence and took off running. There were two girls that were there that weren't even trafficked. They were just they were there on their free will as well, and they were denying them. There was a lady there that she had kids and she just had substance problems. And they let her come in there because Lisa Bounds is all about numbers, all about because the more people you have there, the more money and grants and the more stuff you can say to people to help raise money for her program.
Yeah, and you said that they told
And
somebody told you how many millions she made. How many millions did she make?
the Dallas News said that she's accumulated over $9 million
And how?
from funding, grants, and everything.
This is crazy. Okay, so you're there. Explain what happens next. I mean, you're there. You get out of the jail. They have to move you there with the other girls. What happens next there?
Whenever I'm at the village.
Yes.
So like I said, while I was there and they would lock it, that I was locked out of the cottage, having to scrape off bird poop on the concrete with a rag. And we also would have to beg for hygiene and everything else. Like if we needed more hygiene, we were sitting there having to keep telling them like, hey, like I need some shampoo, or like, hey, I need tampons. Like it's that time. And like I literally have toilet paper in my freaking underwear so I'm not bleeding all over the place.
Wow.
And this,
And as
So
a
go ahead.
and for food too, we had to, they put us on food stamps and stuff, but they couldn't even get me on there because I used to have them a long time ago. Because I've been on my own since I was 15 as well. And so they would make us use other people's food stamp cards if we didn't have anything. And then we weren't allowed to have our food stamp cards either. They keep all of that. They keep all of our documents. They keep all of our food stamps and everything. And we were also monitored on what we can and can't buy. And we would have to put our food together, in the house. Like if we didn't have no food, we had to put our food together so, we could all eat.
So hold on, Christy, chat, anybody watching, is that legal that they held your food stamp cards, all your documentation? You said that's how Homeland Security got a hold of you, right? They found all your paperwork. They kept all your
Yes, and
documents.
they still have my birth certificate.
Hold on. So they had your food stamp cards and they had y'all buying each other food, I guess, with different cards of someone that it didn't belong to, correct? Is that legal? Christy, chat, anybody listening? I don't know if that's legal, that
if
you could do that.
if she did not sign, so number one, Trinity is over the age of 18. She went there on her own free will. She is not there by court order. She's not mandated to be there. So no, you can't withhold somebody's food stamp card from them. You can't withhold, that'd be like withholding medicine or money or anything that belongs to them. You can't do that. I
Uh,
mean, Trinity's a legal adult and she was going through the traumatic events of being removed from her abductor anyway, and then given to somebody that's like locking her up, as she said, in a 5-star prison. So I don't know, it's just
This
hard to hear all of
Okay.
this.
I got a question. Someone has a question because the person that Lisa was arrested for, she claimed that she was heavily medicated. We're gonna get to that story. That's an even crazy story. Trinity has an insight on that. But Trinity, the person that Lisa was arrested for stealing, kidnapping her child, she said she was heavily medicated. Were you medicated there at all?
So I'm glad that they brought that up because while I was there, whenever they kept trying to label me as manipulative, first of all, everyone's on medication there. They try to force medication on everyone there. And Elizabeth Walker, she kept saying that she's a nurse and that's her COO. And she is not actually a nurse. She's never been a nurse. And whenever they kept trying to label me as manipulative, they kept saying that, oh, like you're just having manic episodes, like let us just put you on some medicine, you'll be fine and everything. And I kept saying, no, like you can't force me to take any medicine. And whenever I kept saying that I wanted to leave, they're like, you're going to have all these federal charges. Like, you can't go anywhere. You're pretty much like, you're stuck here. And I'm like, there's no way, like, that can't be real. And so then one day I finally got the courage, because you know what I did? Honestly, I really kept praying, and I was crying. I said, I'd rather be in jail so then I could talk to my people at this point. And then so the whole time they were trying to convince me to stay there. I spent a whole day. And then they even called the investigator that's on my case. And I kept crying to him, like, I don't want to talk to you while they're in the room. So they left the room and he talked to me. And he was like, you're not going to go to jail or anything. I just want to make sure you're going to be okay. And I was like, yes, like, get me out of here. I'm like, why would they even say anything like that? And he's like, I'm not really sure, honestly. And so whenever I did leave, they were trying to make me leave in the dress and sandals I came in too. And I wasn't able to leave with anything. And then I told them I had a plan, like, because the ex-coworkers that were there, they were, helping me. I had all their numbers written down on my thighs so they wouldn't see anything, and because I knew they were going to search me and try to look for anything, to keep me there. And I left there, and they were just trying to still keep my identifications and everything from me. They still have my birth certificate. And, when I was leaving, I was like, just drop me off at the Salvation Army, because apparently they get a bunch of girls, and whenever they leave, they just drop them off at the Salvation Army. But they were then trying to take me all the way to Abilene. And I'm like, y'all already know I don't know nobody here. And they were using all that against me as well. And they try to offer me, they're like, Lisa Bound said, I do have a friend that has an organization in Austin. I don't remember the name of it or anything like that, but she did try to offer me to go there. I said, I don't want to go anywhere you're trying to offer me to go.
Hell yeah. It's like a hustle. This is like a hustle with these nonprofits, and of all places, people that try to help supposedly traffic children and women. Look, I'm gonna be honest. I'm not trying to just like. I don't want to sit here and just be too biased against her, but from everything you're explaining, right? I know some people have grievances with people that help them or organizations. Someone said that basically sound like you were just held without what they say here, basically held hostage there. Excuse me, but this sounds very absurd. And it's crazy that she would even say, we can ship you to another facility. And you said earlier that the news in Dallas told you that she's already made $9 million, ladies and gentlemen. And she's actually giving us the exclusive interview today. She's going to be speaking to the news, her and a couple other girls, on Friday. And you said that they even want to contact you from other news outlets across Texas, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we're going to continue till we get to the story of her and the surrogate mother and the child she was arrested for kidnapping. So you end up getting dropped off where at?
No, so whenever they go down and they try to put me in the car, they were like, do you need to use the restroom before we leave? I said, why? We're just going like down the street or something, right? Like, I'm talking about the Salvation Army here in Midland. And she was like, this is Elizabeth Walker. She said, no, we're taking you to Abilene. So I literally jump out the car and I grab my identification, and then I take off running, because where their Reflection Ministries, like where their office is across the street from a Texas Burger. And so I start running to go to that Texas Burger, and then Elizabeth Walker is like running after me. I turn around and I say, if you touch me or put your hands on me, I will put my hands on you. Because at this point, I feel like I'm fearing for my life. Like, I don't know what y'all intentions are anymore. So she stops running after me. I run into the Texas Burger, and I'm like, I look crazy. I'm crying. I'm like, please let me use your phone. And I start calling the numbers I have written on my thigh. And I have written one of the investigators' number that's on my case too. And I called him. I was like, I'm just letting you know that I'm safe and I'm over here.
This doesn't sound like a nonprofit that helps traffic people. It sounds like they have nefarious reasons to keep people, or the way they treated you. Do you feel like they're looking out for your best interest at all?
Not at all. I feel like they're putting on an image to help them raise more money so they can do whatever they want with it.
Okay,
it's all about numbers for them, and social media and its image and everything else.
Okay.
I'm 100%.
Me too. So you go ahead and call the investigator. What happens?
He told me that's good. He said keep me in the loop, and he said if you need me to come over there. He was in San Antonio at the time, but he said if you need anything from me at all, like I can see what I can do right now and make some phone calls. But I said no. There's a lady that's already supposed to pick me up and take me to another organization that's actually going to help me, and they really have.
Someone asked who prescribes the medication there. Is there someone licensed to prescribe medication at the Reflection Ministries?
There is a psychiatrist that comes and speaks to every one of the residents individually, and there's a case manager there that works at Reflections that has to sit in there and listen to everything, and she also puts her 2 cents in. And I'm not sure of the lady's name that prescribes medicine, but
How do you know that she's a doctor?
I have no idea, honestly. No, no one
Christy,
knows. All the truth will come out.
Christy, I mean,
Yes.
she could be wearing a lab coat and prescribing you whatever she wants, and she could be.
Yeah, because Elizabeth Walker said that she used to be a nurse, and she was never a nurse. She's never been a nurse.
So what they probably have is they probably have, like most places do, a staff physician that oversees like the medical care of people, and the way that you can get around
No.
prescribing that medication is you call the staff doctor and say, hey, I got Jane Doe over here that's being manipulative, is having outbursts,
Right.
things like that, and we need her to be on some psychotropic meds, and that's probably how it happens, that these things go to a staff doctor that is paid for by like Reflection.
Well, think about it. This is a
Yeah.
nonprofit. We're paying for this, y'all. Me and you are paying for this with our tax dollars. They're getting a bunch of money from God knows where. Lisa Bounds here is basically she supported Lori Blanc. She donated money to her. We know how corrupt that mayor is. Her husband is I think the CEO of Frost Bank. Allegedly, I think that's
Yes.
correct. Is that correct? That's what I've heard.
He is.
So her husband is a big banker over here in Midland. She donates money to Lori Blanc, and this woman puts on the front, goes on radio stations and everywhere else. And she's a nice Christian helping trafficked women. She claimed that she was trafficked. Did you hear about that?
Lisa Bounds?
Yes.
She was not trafficked. She was not trafficked. She's never been in a situation like that. She says before, she said that she was in college or something before, and that her boyfriend got her all like drunk or something and had one of his friends sleep with her or something. So she might have been raped, but she was never trafficked.
So let me ask you.
Which rape is a serious thing too, but
Yes. Oh, I totally agree, and I kind of want to stay away from any of that kind of stuff here. But let me ask you: were there any good times in the Reflections ministry?
No. Honestly, the only good times were whenever I could just sit outside and swing on the front swings and on the porch and drink tea.
In your opinion,
Did you have?
Go ahead.
Did you have free will, that if you wanted a friend to come pick you up that maybe you had met and you wanted to go to McDonald's for a McFlurry or whatever, did you have the right to come and go as you wanted?
Not at all.
Oh, wow.
You couldn't leave?
We could not leave that facility at all.
Okay.
So they would lock y'all out at 7:50 in the morning and have y'all doing outside chores till 5 o'clock?
Yes.
Okay, so you escape Reflections. Let me ask you this. We go into the situation that happened today. Breaking news, she was arrested for kidnapping, third degree felony. And you just told me right now that she was released on a bond. But was it surprising to find out that Lisa Bounds here was arrested for such a charge?
It wasn't surprising to me. The only thing that was surprising to me is that it actually happened, and that the investigators are finally listening and actually taking this seriously. And also, too, her nephew Daryl works for her as well. And they do jujitsu classes, I think like maybe Tuesdays and Thursdays, I forgot. But at a Brazilian jiu-jitsu place in Midland, Texas. And he would always try to demonstrate the moves on us and everything. Or like, oh, let me show you this and that. First of all, from coming from such a trauma background, we don't want to, have a man even near us, let alone touch us and try to demonstrate some moves on us and everything. And then also too, whenever some ladies would ask for more things, like, more coffee or like more hygiene and everything, he'd be like, y'all need to be grateful that y'all are living in these nice $1 million homes, and that y'all don't need to complain about anything. At least y'all aren't out there getting raped and everything else, and let alone like hearing that, especially coming out of a man's mouth, like we were all sitting there just looking at each other
Yeah.
like,
Who talks
did
like
he just say that?
Who talks like that? And you said what jujitsu place is he from? Do you know? And what's his full name?
His name's Daryl. I'm not sure his last name, but
Daryl.
it's Lisa's Bound's nephew. And they took down the reflection page actually
Yeah.
today, because everyone was commenting on it, and I was loving that, because I'm like, finally people are understanding and having an open eye. And to the people that are still defending them, it's like, wait till everything else comes out.
And Daryl, yes.
Because
Go ahead.
the Homeland Security, when I spoke to them today, I just left seeing them maybe like 2 hours ago from seeing them out in Midland. They literally told me that there's so many files and there's so much investigating that still needs to be done, and that more people on her board are going to be arrested.
Uh-oh. Homeland Security told you this?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, because we got a bunch of people, some people I thought were my friends, throwing the little slick disses at me for reporting the news. And I'm like, you know what? You probably should step away from this woman, because a lot more is coming out. So let me ask you, this woman, she gets arrested. You said that you're surprised it even happened. And I asked you if you're surprised it happened. You said you're surprised that even that she got arrested. You claim that you went and talked to the MPD. Did the MPD help you?
No, and actually, me and some ex-coworkers that used to work for her, we actually all came together and we tried to go to the Texas Rangers, and they were investigating, but they ended up shutting it down. And so we're like, there's no way. So they kept going at it, and we finally got the attention of the Dallas investigators. And they're the ones who came down and they met us at the
Wow.
MPD, at the MPD office, and we all got to sit down. And that was maybe like 2 months ago or something. And now Homeland Security from Dallas is coming and talking to me. And now she was just arrested yesterday. And they said they have warrants. They've been out at the village, and they've been out at their offices, looking into everything.
So I mean, it's not hard to see. She donates money to Lori Blong, our mayor. She's listed. We got the proof. It's not slander. Her and her husband, a boss at Frost Bank, they donate money to Lori Blong's campaign. And you just said right now you went and asked the MPD for help. They did not help you. God bless the Dallas Police Department. Thank God for good police. I'm going to be honest, in Midland, our police department, they want to arrest us and harass us for speaking at council meetings. God bless the Dallas Police Department, because I believe, or do you believe that it's because of them that you were, that people started investigating this woman and her her nonprofit?
Definitely.
Okay, so I want to ask you a question. I forgot, but now I remember the man that was at the jiu-jitsu that would put his hands on y'all and try to show you moves. His name is Daryl, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen watching, there's a man that goes to jiu-jitsu classes in Midland, spoke very bad to these women here at this crisis center, I would say. His name is Daryl, and he would put his hands and body on these women, correct?
Yeah, he would try to demonstrate moves and everything. Like he works, like that's Lisa Bound's nephew, and he works with them.
And he would put his body and hands on you. How would you feel? Were you okay with that?
Uncomfortable. Very uncomfortable.
But you don't remember his last name? Well, I mean, we're gonna get it, but you remember his last name?
I'm not sure.
Okay. Daryl.
But
Daryl out there doing jujitsu. I hope and pray that you quit putting your hands on women at a crisis center that are traffic victims and trying to show them your jujitsu moves and saying that they need to be quiet and be grateful that they're not out there getting our word. You're at a jujitsu place. Just wait till I find out which one it is. I might go protest there, and I might even go protest at this Reflections pretty soon. Maybe tomorrow I'm off. Anyways, I digress. So let's get back to this
Can
case.
I ask a
Go
question
ahead,
real
Christy.
quick?
Go ahead.
So Trinity, I just have a question for you. So we know like what happened to you and things like that. Like how long were you in the situation that you had told us that you were moved around to different states and then to different cities within Midland and all of that? So how long were you? I'm just going to call him your abductor because I don't like using the other term. How long were you under his like control?
I'm not really sure how long it was.
I mean, was it years? So it really messed with your schooling and stuff, though, correct?
I did. And
So
I
did
also
they?
had an apartment and everything, and I lost everything. And Lisa Bounds also said that she was going to help me retrieve everything that I've lost. And she made all these promises to me. And I'm still working with trying to get back everything I've lost.
Wow.
And what's
Did
your?
they help you
Go
with
ahead.
school at all while you were there at Reflections? Did like they help you try to get any education, anything like that?
Not at all. They put you in what's called I call it fake school. They put you in this fake school with fake grades and all this stuff. And, they have what they call teachers there at the fake school to teach us, and we have to pass that before we're able to go and talk about college.
And you said that you got put up. The one other thing that really just stuck out to me is whenever you said, because I keep thinking in my head you're an adult, but that they would put you on punishment. What did punishment consist of?
We had to write a 5-page essay on manipulation. And because one girl that was there, she jumped the fence and she took off running. But because I knew about it, I didn't think she was serious. Like, we always joked around like that because we were always so scared to see what would happen if we actually did that. And so she actually did that. And then so I was put on a 30-day punishment. I had to stay at the village. I had to write a 5-page essay, and if I didn't, I was said that I was gonna, I was disobeying their rules, and they were gonna put me in jail, and I was gonna have all these charges again. I was gonna have all these charges like he did, and I'm like, okay, if like that's obviously nerve-wracking and scary. Like, no one wants to think that they're gonna be in all this trouble like their abductor when you're the victim.
Right. So,
And especially
Trinity,
if they're not letting you talk to Homeland Security or the investigators, So if they're denying you to be able to speak to them, it's like, dang, is this really true?
you're 21 now, right? Is that correct?
I'm 24 now.
24. Okay.
And you went there recently, correct?
Last year.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. It was
Okay.
last year.
Okay, so let me ask you this: whenever they told you that you'd get in trouble for leaving, or like kind of give you that talk about the legal issue, why did you believe them?
Because I don't know. They're just so good. She's so good at her words and saying everything, and she uses all these other like big words, and because she's so involved with the community and she's so involved with
Wow.
all these different police places and programs and Homeland Security and everything else that she works alongside. So it's like, if this lady is over here telling you all this stuff, like, how do you not believe that? Especially if you're not able to find out for yourself, because they won't let you contact anyone and get answers.
Okay, let's get back to what happened. So you find out because someone else made a post, and I shared it. I ain't gonna lie, I don't care. Screw this lady and anyone defending you for defending her. I'll leave it at that. It pisses me off, to be completely honest. But anyways, somebody else made a post, and I asked you the name, and you said this was not the same person. But someone else in February, Christy, they made a post, correct, and I shared it. We tried to contact her. She said that Lisa Bounds kidnapped her child, and she needed help. She said that this is not a joke. FBI, we're trying to get a hold of her. But you said that that's not the same person, correct, that this lady was arrested for?
No.
And many people have been messaging me. I've got a lot more people, and y'all are going to speak to the news Friday. You and a couple other people, of course. But people have messaged me that this person that she got arrested for is not the only victim. So people telling me that, plus me asking you the name. I gave you the name. You said that's not the same person that she was arrested for taking this other child. They claim there's many more victims. Do you believe that that's an actual true statement?
Yes, and today a lady was I don't know if I can say her name or not,
Don't say
but
it.
she she was actually like maybe like 5.5 hours ago now. She was finally reunited with her child as well.
Where was the child at?
I have no idea. It was an adoption system or with the adopted parents or whatever. And even Homeland Security told me today too, like they probably feel like, the parents probably feel like they weren't doing anything wrong or anything as well too, because
Wow.
So let me ask you this. This comes out that she gets arrested for the kidnapping. Did you know anything about this case at all?
no, I didn't. I thought it was this person that I'm talking about right now. I didn't even know about this person.
So you're saying the person you're talking about now, they got their child back, and how was Lisa involved in that case?
She took her child and put him up for, they sent him to an adoption
What,
or to a family.
so you're saying that Lisa has the capability and the authority to get somebody's child and put it up for adoption?
Clearly.
Mm.
What the hell? Are you serious? Hello?
Uh-oh. The audio is bad now.
What happened?
Hello.
You there?
Trinity, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear.
Trinity.
Okay.
Trinity. So she's known to do this, or she's done this before?
Yeah, I used to. Whenever I was there personally, there was no one that had children or was pregnant or anything while I was there. But I kept always heard stories and everything, and I was like, wow, I believe it, And now that it's coming to light about that one person that I didn't even hear about, that one person, the one that she got arrested for, I didn't even know. I didn't even hear about that woman.
So,
And then the name you told me earlier, I didn't know about that one either.
so hold on. People bring up the word baby farming. You think that's happening there?
I mean, I would say it's pretty accurate, honestly.
Mm.
Man, this right here, y'all, is kind of giving me the creeps. So you're saying you never saw people with children there? There was no children on the premises.
No,
Where were they? I'm sure people had kids.
I'm not sure. They weren't. One lady that was there, that she did have children, they weren't allowing her to even speak to her kids. So.
Okay, so we're gonna hold that thought there, because we're gonna go to this next situation, which she got arrested for. So this other lady claims that she was pregnant and that she signed over her authority or her rights to Lisa. Kind of odd. And before she had the baby, she did this in case something happened. And then she had the baby, and Lisa started calling this woman the surrogate mother. This is from an affidavit. It's not slander. And then she even changed the baby's name and called the baby a different name. When you heard this, what were your thoughts when you heard these kind of weird details from this arrest?
I think she might have some like mental issues or something. I'm not really sure. That sounds very excessive, and I don't know. I think it's crazy how much evil's really in the world and how much people are so blind to think. Like a lot of people, when I try to say something one time before, they're like, no, that's not true, like that. Like how can that even happen? Like how could someone even be like that? And it's like, yeah, that's a hard pill to swallow, to think that people are actually like that. But that's the world we live in. This is really happening.
That's what I told you earlier,
Oh my
Trinity, is
God.
like, you know, Nino and I have heard so many of these stories, but there's so many people that live in this bubble and don't even recognize like all the things that are happening. And, so you go from your abductor to another abductor, is what it sounded like to me.
Yeah, I really felt like, because, being trafficked and everything, you're told all these things and you're isolated and everything else. And it's like when you go to a program that's supposed to help and they're doing the exact same thing, it's like, where's the real help at, If everything was just the same thing, but different, like, I guess, good thing we weren't out there being raped and stuff, but it was still the same. We were still going through the same pain and everything else, and we weren't getting any healing.
And this
Instead, we were being labeled as manipulative and being put on punishments
and medication.
and having to do all these things. Yeah, they would try to force me to take medicine and everything. I kept saying, I'm not taking any medicine. You cannot force me to take medicine. And one other lady that was there in the program, she was so scared to leave because she felt like she needed her medicine. She's like, I can't leave without it. Like, they're not going to give it to me. I can't leave. I can't leave without my medicine.
Oh, so basically they're like keeping you locked there and dependent on the medicine. That happened to someone else. You saw it.
Yeah.
Christy, man, I mean, I kid you not, I'm trying to keep my composure, y'all. I'm not a professional, interviewer. To be honest, I'm just a trucker. Me and Christy help out victims like this. This right here, like what someone said in here, this is very alarming. This is almost too much. Like, I would feel so bad if my daughter was in the hands of someone like this freaking monster right here. And shame on those people out there that are defending this wicked witch. For real. Like, this freaking pisses me off to even hear this. And I don't care what they say. I don't care if they say they do good things. They donate money to the freaking mayor. We got the proof. They support the mayor. Her husband's the CEO of Frost Bank. We don't even know what kind of connections are even happening here, to be completely honest. This is freaking evil, disgusting, and wicked. And it's happening right under our noses with our taxpayer dollars. These nonprofits get money from God knows what grants and whatever else. She got $9 million. The Dallas News told this woman here that this woman has already made $9 million off her freaking nonprofit. That's a nonprofit. Go ahead, Christy.
I don't know many times that I've been speechless, and my thing that I keep going back to, and Nino, I know you're going to disagree with me whenever I say this. I had talked to Trinity about it, that I was really going to come in here like with this non-biased opinion. But after talking to Trinity now 3 times today, little things that she told me in the beginning, like her story is consistent. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't sound like she's making these things up or
Christy,
anything like that. And she will have her day in court. The evidence is there. She was arrested. And we have got to quit shaming the victims, period.
Yeah, and to be honest, even some friends I have, it's innocent until proven guilty. I understand that. But this woman was arrested. A 3rd-degree felony. Homeland Security's involved. They're not just going to arrest this woman to cover up a crime. They're arresting this woman, finally. Thank you, Lord Jesus, for arresting a human trafficker. For doing something, finally. Anyways, I'm sorry, y'all. It just pisses me off that these people get away with this kind of stuff and they claim to be Christians to make money, and here they are. All right, so back to the story. Go ahead.
That's what I was going to say. They use ministry behind their name, and it's disgusting.
This is trash. This woman is trash. Sue me, Lisa. Sue me, you and your trash nonprofit. I ain't stupid. I know what nonprofits are. You're a bunch of scumbag liars and scammers. That's what all of y'all are. From the soup kitchens that just stink up my neighborhood with all these addicts that walk around and threaten my family. You get a bunch of money from the city, the state, and God knows where, and you make me look bad and try to make me look bad saying that I get mad about it. Well, what the hell? My whole community done with your crap because we got a soup kitchen in the community with a bunch of bums everywhere, and they get all this freaking money, and my family's in danger at night. Freaking tired of this crap already. Anyways, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
The only 501c3 that I completely agree with is for the animal shelters. And
Well, sis,
it's
sis,
understand.
let's be honest. We done heard about a couple bad animal shelters, right?
We have, yeah, we have,
Okay,
yeah. You're
so
right.
Trinity, sorry for going off. I'm just passionate. Passionate. This pisses me off. So you hear that she gets arrested. Anybody just jumping on right now? She just got a hold of Homeland Security 2 hours ago. More arrests are on the way. Investigation is underway. They told her she could speak. She's going to speak to the news Friday. We got the first interview here. Thank you, Trinity. So when you heard that she was arrested for this lady, she's running a nonprofit, and she was arrested for being in a hotel near this other woman's home, and she was arrested for kidnapping a child. She named this child another name and called this woman a surrogate mother. She had the woman sign over guardianship and tried to get the judge to make it permanent.
Yeah,
Trinity,
and so it was temporary guardianship, and the judge said absolutely not to permanent guardianship, and she didn't return the child.
okay, so Trinity, what were your thoughts when you first heard this? I mean, what were your thoughts about this? Did you believe it?
Yes,
Why?
because if she's capable of doing and being the way she is with everyone else, she's capable of really anything, honestly.
So, what would her purpose be of kidnapping children? Because
Mm,
we're not just hearing of one, we're hearing
it's
about
many.
two and three, and the more I'm kind of anxious whenever I get off here to look at my messages and direct
It's a
messages
lot
to
of
see
people
how many
reaching
more
out.
people.
It's a lot of people
Yeah,
reaching out. Yeah.
yeah.
Why do you think that she would be trying to, I guess, take kids even legally? Why would she do that?
I don't know. That's the golden question.
We know why.
So Trinity, I guess you got or Homeland Security got a hold of you. What are your thoughts now? What do you want out of all of this?
For all the truth to come out, and I want them to be held accountable for all the ways that they've mistreated people and their families, and for all the further trauma that they've caused, instead of being a support system that's supposed to help,
And
and
What did
especially
your
a faith-based.
what
so
did your family say, Trinity, whenever they didn't hear from you for like 3 months? Like what did
So
they
my mother was actually reaching out the whole entire time, and Lisa Bounds, my mom has all of the screenshots between her and Lisa Bounds. And she kept telling my mother that I didn't want any contact with her and I didn't want to speak with her at all, which is very false because I used to cry for my mom the whole time I was there. And they were telling my mother that I didn't want to speak with her, and they told me that they kept encouraging my mom to send letters and pictures and everything. My mom has sent a bunch of mail that I still haven't received yet either. And I asked the Homeland Security, since they said they found my files, they said they found my birth certificate that they still have, and but now I have to wait for that because it's evidence now. And that I said if they found all my mail and everything that I had there too, and they said they haven't looked too far into the files yet, but that was the first thing that they seen was my birth certificate that they withheld from me. And whenever I got out, I was finally able to talk to my mother, and I just cried to her, and I was like, they told me you wanted nothing, you weren't sending anything, and that you didn't want nothing to do with me. And my mom was like, they were saying the same thing to me about you.
wow.
And so the whole time, like hearing that, like while you're there, that they're reaching out to my mom and that she wants nothing to do with me, like that's obviously that hurts even more. It's like, dang, I'm really out here alone, you know?
Mm.
Man, this I mean, I'm gonna tell you, I believe you. I mean, this, this is crazy. Elizabeth Walker needs to be looked into, says someone here. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, Homeland Security said that they said I can't say too much because I said she's walking around free and everything as well. I was like, what's happening with her? And they said I can't say too much, but not for long.
Oh, Well, I think we can catch the drift. And who is Elizabeth
Mhm.
Walker? Who is she?
She is Elisa Bounds, COO.
Can you name?
Chief Operating
Can you
Officer.
name who works there? Give us all the names that you have off top.
Um, Elizabeth Walker. Her sister works for her too, and
Her
a
nephew.
case manager. A case manager that works there. Her name is Farron. I'm not sure last names, but that's really the main people I can think of right now. Is I
It,
know her sister does a lot for her, and that's Daryl's mom,
and that's the sister of who?
which is
The sister of who?
Lisa Bounds.
Okay, yeah, that's how the nonprofits work. The nonprofits employ family members, y'all. That's how it works. And
Yep.
is Elizabeth
Yep.
Walker related to anybody?
No.
Okay, all right. So winding down. Anybody have questions? Put them in the comments. We will read them with Trinity and Christy here. So let me ask you: when you see her doing radio interviews and being put on a pedestal, donating money to the mayor, I mean, she's out there, like, I guess, on a public, campaign to make herself look good. What are your thoughts about that? Do you think she's what are your thoughts about when you see her doing that or portraying an image like she's very holy and very caring?
It just makes me feel sick to my stomach, especially because people are so naive without trying to look further into it. They're like, they just worship this woman, like, oh my gosh, she's such a great woman. She's a survivor herself and everything. And I'm like, y'all can't like, y'all have to really look into people before y'all just start praising someone.
Have you seen a little bit of support online for her? I've seen quite a bit of people that surprise me. They say that she's innocent, that innocent until proven guilty. What do you think about that?
People are entitled to their own opinion, but my personal opinion would be just wait till everything else comes out and you'll see that nobody here is making any false accusations. And for me, even speaking with Homeland Security today, when they said I can speak, they said I am able to speak and tell my everything that's true and all my personal experiences with them and how I feel. They said I have a voice and that I'm able to use it because at first I asked if I should have any lawyers or anything, and they said you are perfectly fine. You are protected. And that kind of made me feel good too, because I'm like, I'm kind of scared I'm gonna be, out here and everything. I don't know if I'm gonna have a target on my back and everything too. And that's why a lot of other women that have been there have been scared to speak out. But my thing is, I prayed and prayed and prayed about it. And I was like, God, help me word what I'm gonna say. Help me, like, what should I do, And then I've just been having this strong feeling of speaking out on everything. I'm like, if I have to be the voice for everyone else so this can be heard, I'm gonna do that.
Okay,
You're a warrior,
thank
and
you.
I love the survivor. I love the survivor mentality, and that you're speaking up, and that more's to come. And
Yeah.
I'm glad that I
I,
got to meet you.
I think we could read between the lines. Homeland Security is telling you to go in and speak. I mean, they're under investigation. The
Hmm.
cards are falling. That's all I'm going to say. And I wonder if she even would get her charges upgraded from kidnapping to other various charges for running this scam nonprofit.
I'm sure it will.
Yeah, me too. Someone says real women show.
I'm very positive.
Why are you?
I have to be honest. I'm not sure in Midland that
What?
there'll be too many up charges.
Yeah, we know the Midland police are corrupt here. Not all, but most. Why do you think that there will be more charges, Trinity?
Because they said they have a bunch of information that they need to look through and
Mm.
that they're unraveling a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
They can't really tell me too much, but from what they have explained to me, you can really put two and two together.
yeah. I think they probably have some good, solid stuff. That's why they're not really telling you to be quiet about it. And you're going to be speaking to the news, correct? Friday, you and a couple others.
Yes.
Who reached out to you? If you don't mind me
I was
asking,
supposed
who reached out to you?
I think it's West 9 or something. I'm not really familiar with, I don't watch the news,
News West
honestly.
9. Okay.
Yes.
And you're gonna go ahead.
They reached out to me today, and there's a lady that's supposed to be speaking to me and the ex coworker. She said that we have that locked in Friday morning. We're supposed to be going and speaking.
Wow.
And we leave you an open platform
Yes.
that if you and your coworker would like to also interview with us again before your news conference or whatever, we would love to hear her part of the story also.
Okay.
Okay, and someone says right here, real women's shelters do not treat you like that. There is protocols to keep them safe, but not prisoner, and are
That's right.
completely careful not to have any kind of men in the facility to keep the women safe. Uh, is
Yeah,
that
you would think that. At first, Daryl, her nephew Daryl started off as just being the photographer. But while I was there, he was one of the fake teachers, because I call it fake school, and was he taught there, and he was also the gym teacher because we would have gym classes, I believe, like Mondays and Fridays, and he would lead all the workouts and stuff too, and then jujitsu classes at the Brazilian jiu-jitsu place in Midland that that's where we would all be doing jiu-jitsu and stuff, and he would try to demonstrate, he'd be like this is just like jiu-jitsu, like this is y'all learning and everything, and would demonstrate on the women.
and again,
Yeah.
you said you're very uncomfortable with him doing so, correct? A lot of y'all were.
Yes.
I mean, did you find it necessary for him to show you the moves? I mean, wherever y'all are at, I mean, was it necessary? Were y'all in that kind of a setting?
No, not really.
Shame on you, Daryl. Someone asked how many other women were present at the shelter when you were there, and did they have any children?
No one had children while I was there, and when I first came in, there were a total of 9 girls there.
Hold on. So there was, I mean, not to put anybody down, right, or degrade anybody, but you're saying there was only 9 people plus you there?
Yes, and apparently that was a lot to have at the time.
And she's made $9 million, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So
And 2 of the women jumped over the fence and took off running. But whenever they took off running and everything, they said that, oh, it's not that important because they don't have high cases and everything. So no one's going to come asking questions or look for them
they said
here.
that? They said that?
Yes.
Wow. Okay. I'll even say this: 9 people, and for her to generate millions of dollars. Not to downgrade any nonprofit, even though I don't like them, but do you see any need for her to be getting so much money for 9 people? I'm not trying to talk bad, but you catch what I'm trying to say here. Like, that's a lot of money
Yeah.
for helping 9 people. How many staff did they have? The same amount? I mean, that's not a lot of people to be helping for that much money that she would make. Do you agree?
Oh, they had a big turnover. They had a big turnover for staff because a lot of staff kept leaving and more were coming and leaving and coming and leaving and coming. And it was kind of hard on us too because after we're only there at the village, and so we create these bonds with the staff members, and then when they leave, it's like like they're pretty much dead because we can't ever speak to them again and everything, and it's like that was hard on us too.
They had a high turnover rate.
Yes.
I mean, I feel like this is a scam. She's making a lot of money and playing the victim. Thank God she got arrested finally. But for 9 people, I just don't see how you can make. Well, I guess I don't run a nonprofit. I told Christy and my friends, if I want to get rich, I need to make a nonprofit in Midland. But to have 9 to 10 people and then to generate millions of dollars and to be donating to the mayor, being on radio shows, getting interviews, and being just held as some kind of a community leader. Now she's arrested for kidnapping. I just think this thing stinks
Yeah,
to
and
high heaven.
and the fact that she's out on bond right now.
Do you believe she's dangerous?
I believe that she has a lot of power and a lot of connections. And I'm kind of a little afraid of my safety, but I know I got the investigators and Homeland Security. I got a big support system, and I love all of my people that are supporting me and that are, actually like, if anything happens, like we're here for you.
And what do you say to people that out there that say that she's innocent till proven guilty? She's a great woman, and they're just polishing her reputation. What do you say to them? And I know you don't want. I'm not telling you to make them believe you, but what would you say to those people that are, deceived by this woman?
I mean, all I'm gonna just say straight up, like, if that's what you want to believe, I can't force you to believe anything else. Just stick to the facts. Wait for everything to come out, because one thing, you can believe me or not, but when the facts actually come out, you can't deny that.
Nope.
I mean, she.
Everything in the dark always comes to light.
Amen. I mean,
That's exactly what I've been praying for a whole year since this has been going on. I've been praying for a whole year for God to finally reveal all the darkness and bring it to light within Reflection Ministries. And now that everything is happening and everything's being brought to light, and more stuff is to come to light, I'm just very happy that all this is finally getting the recognition.
So just a couple more questions that I have. So whenever they kept your like food stamp cards and everything, did they go out and do the shopping, or were you all allowed to go out and buy the
We were
food?
on we were on computers. They order from HEB, and it's all on these computers, and
Wow.
we're being watched on, and we're being told on what we can and can't get.
hold on, and
Wow.
and who's paying for it?
The food stamps.
No, I mean, you are, right?
Yeah.
We are as taxpayers. I mean, you see what I'm saying? You're paying with your food stamp card, and they're telling you what you can and cannot buy. Correct?
They made it into a class at the fake school too, and like a health class. And we were only in there for, I think the class was like 40 minutes or 45 minutes. I'm not sure how long it was. But they're telling us what we can and can't get. And if we don't finish what we need in that time, like, that's what you're getting.
There's people in the chats that are just saying that they felt like that they were deceived too. We once thought she hung the moon. I
Wow.
think that a lot more is to come out with this, and you know, I, this is just amazing to
I,
me.
I,
Like
I
I'm just
mean, sis. I mean, I already have I don't like nonprofits for nothing. I know they're scammers, but I would say, what other laws are they breaking here? I would like to get with the good nonprofit that does real good work. Someone's in the comments that said they're a part of a good one, and find out if this is even legal. How do you do fake classes and then you dictate on how they use their federal their federal how do you say their money for food, right?
their
Their
benefits,
their
yeah,
federal
state benefits.
benefits. Yeah, yeah, state benefits. How do you dictate what someone uses on that? Trinity, did you ever sign paperwork about this? Did you ever give them permission to dictate on how you spent your food stamps?
No. And
What the?
another thing too, past
Yep.
residents
Go ahead.
past residents too, for a fact, they actually had jobs and stuff there too. And whenever they wanted to leave or whatever, they kept their hardworking money. They kept their money. They weren't able to get their money. And I know some people were getting money for FAFSA too from school. They were keeping their money,
What do you mean
and
keep?
that's a
What do
fact.
you mean keeping their money?
They
Uh,
weren't. They
so
weren't getting.
yeah, so FAFSA is the financial aid that you have to fill out to go and take like any college courses. And usually people that are in situations like that, they qualify for quite a bit of financial aid from different lenders and things like that. And if they were keeping that money, that right there is absolutely against the law. Withholding somebody's food stamp card and ability to leave the property is also against the law. That's a kidnapping on its own.
Did you ever feel like you were held there against your will?
Yeah, they told me if they put all this fear into me and were like, if you leave, you're gonna have all these federal charges just like him. So I'm like, okay, I have to sit in here. And at first, they were saying that it'll just be a little bit. You just have to go through each cottage. So they labeled them like differently. So there's cottage 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and that's like the different levels. You have to pass one to move into the next house. they call colleges. And then if you mess up or if you talk back or if really they just don't like what you're doing or something, they'll put you back and they're like, oh, you have to start all back over again.
Man, this is crazy. Anybody out there listening to this? I mean, I guess if you have a nonprofit, you could do whatever the hell you want, I guess. Get $9 million, donate to the mayor of Midland, your husband works at Frost Bank, and then you get arrested for kidnapping, and then you are allegedly you were there trying to take someone else's child, surrogate, calling the mother the surrogate mother and naming the child something else. What the hell is going on with this woman and this nonprofit, y'all? This is freaking crazy. What else did you see? Did you see anything else that was kind of odd? Go ahead.
Not that I can really think of, honestly.
Wow. I've heard enough. This is just disgusting. So
I just ask for prayers of protection and for people to start praying for more truth to come out and for the investigators to be able to find everything that they're looking for.
do you think that she will be charged with anything else from what you've seen at the time being at this nonprofit?
I believe so.
And I just have another question. So, how many people did you anticipate are going to come together and really be able to tell the story of exactly what happened? How many other people do you feel like are out there that maybe might be scared to tell their story or want to tell their story or
I
haven't?
feel like there's a lot of people and some of the mothers that are actually impacted from her taking their babies and stuff, they're scared to come forward and everything too. One of the women is pregnant right now and she's afraid that she could come after her other kid, like her baby that she's pregnant with right now. Like a lot of people are too scared to come forward and say something. And that's why whenever I talk to Homeland Security too, he said he's already talked to so many people. They've all talked to so many different people and got so many different insights and everything. Workers, past residents,
Wow.
everything.
Yeah, this is an investigation. Listen, everybody. She just spoke to Homeland Security 2-3 hours ago, y'all. Homeland Security, for everybody defending this monster over here. Well, I mean, what is that? That's a federal agency, right, Christy? Homeland Security.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This is not. I mean, God bless good police.
And also HSI.
What's HSI?
Human service. I can't remember.
Well, I'm sure someone will.
Human service.
I'm not sure. I just see what they wear. It says HSI. It's like a bulletproof vest thing that says that on there.
Homeland Security Investigations. Yeah, that's what I thought.
yeah.
Homeland Security Investigations.
In other words, y'all, they could try to sit there and defend this woman. She can be on the radio and get interviews and holding that microphone and act all nice and pretty. But Homeland Security is on that bumper. And thank God. You know what? When people say they want people punished for human trafficking and kidnapping and all that, I mean, this is where it's headed, y'all. This is the route. They're investigating this woman, and from what I'm hearing, more arrests are on the way. Today's the first day. So let's wind this down. Christy, I don't know if you have anything else you want to ask her before I turn it over to her for final words. Go ahead, Christy.
I just want to say, Trinity, if you have access to other people that want a safe space to tell their story and they don't want to give their name or location, we allow anybody to be anonymous that wants to be. We are an open book for either side. If somebody just absolutely wants to say that none of this is true or whatever,
Yeah.
we'll offer that platform to them too, but they're probably going to get unhappy with a bunch of us mama bears. And I just thank you a lot for telling your story. It's really brave.
Thank you.
Trinity, someone asking was there any pregnant women there?
No, not while I was there.
Okay. All right. Well, we're winding down, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for watching us. And you know what? You're not going to shut us up. You're not going to bully us. You could defend this woman all you want. I ain't going to defend it. I'm straight up. I heard what I needed to hear. Many people have written me. I've spoken to a couple of people today. Trust me, this thing has rocked Midland, and there's kind of a divide. Some people are defending this woman, y'all. As disgusting as it sounds, they're defending her because they were tricked by her. We're not defending her. Put her in prison, lock her up, and investigate the full situation, because this woman right here is nothing good for Midland. Now, Trinity, the floor is yours. You're speaking Friday with the news, multiple agencies. You just talked to Homeland Security, active investigation here. What do you want to tell everybody watching now and on the repeat? The floor is yours to the nation. Go ahead.
Well, like I was saying before, I just want everyone to keep an open mind and to really keep their eyes open, their eyes open and their ears listening to everything else that's going to come out too, because this is just the beginning. And that's what I keep telling people too. This is just the beginning stages of everything else that's going to come out. This was just the hard evidence they had right then and there to actually lock her up for. But they have so many files and so much more information that they're still going through, and a lot of the other people that are involved are still going to be arrested and everything as well. And
So I have one more. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. I was just going to say, I have a question. So they claim that this was Reflections Ministry, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Were you all made to go into like worship services and things like that? Because we got kind of somebody in the comments that said Midland Bible Church owns the property. Were they involved?
That's Tim Dunn.
These people? Uh-huh.
Yeah, I have no idea who owns what, but I know whenever we go to fake school, that they do a devotional every morning. That's it. When I left too, like I said, I wasn't able to take anything. A staff member actually gifted me a Bible, and they wouldn't let me take that either.
They wouldn't let you take a Bible?
No.
We send free Bibles. Send me your address and I'll get you a Bible.
Why did they not let you take a Bible?
I have no idea.
She said, and I don't think that you got to hear that part, Nino. Whenever
I was writing my when I had to do that little essay thing too, and I was looking at manipulation and stuff, I was actually looking into the Bible, and I forgot which verse it said too, but it was saying also that a devil in the sheep's clothing and everything else like that too. I made sure whenever I had to present my presentation for being on punishment, I made sure I directed that too at them, and I said, the truth is gonna come out, and they didn't like my presentation at all. But after I found my voice, I was like, I'm not gonna shut up. I'm not gonna be silent. I'm not gonna sit there and let other people still be affected by it, because they released all the women that were there today too.
What?
But before that, they were still under Reflection Ministries, and now there's no one there.
What do you mean no one's there?
All the women that were there, all the residents that were there, they are no longer there.
So it's basically shut down?
I'm assuming so.
Who told you this?
Well, I know that their Facebook page is.
Who told you this?
Homeland Security.
Oh, damn. Okay, the verse you said was Matthew 7:15. It says, "Beware of false prophets which come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ravening wolves."
Yep.
Yes. And when I was also there and I was so afraid to leave and everything, I remember staying up in the room and I was just crying and crying and crying. I actually ended up going and opening up I went and opened up my Bible because I'm like, what do I do? They keep saying like if I leave, I was fully prepared to just go to prison because I'm like, if that's what it takes to be able to actually speak to my family and everything, I'd rather be there than be in here,
Wow.
And I actually opened up my Bible and I opened up to Hebrews 11:8 through 11:9. And if I mess this up, that's my bad. I'm still
Go ahead. It's fine.
Getting into everything. But it said, for Abraham didn't know where he was going. He trusted in God and he still found his home in the promised land. So that gave me a lot of reassurance that hey, God's saying literally to me, don't worry about this. Trust me with what I'm telling you. Like, leave.
Absolutely.
You're gonna be
Amen.
fine.
Amen.
I love that you're delving into the Bible. It will never lead you wrong.
Damn, man.
Not at all.
This is a
My
mess.
phone's at 1%.
Okay.
I
All
know.
right. Well, God
I'm
bless you.
surprised that I kept my anger in check.
Well, thank you, Trinity, for jumping on here. Thank you for your courage. If you need anything, let us know. We will be waiting for more arrests, and we will be waiting for the interviews on the news. God bless you. Okay. Thank you. Stay on, Christy.
Thank you so much.
Okay. God bless you. And there it is, y'all. Trinity, and even have people reaching out to us to watch out who we talk to and speak to. Christy, we don't care what anybody says, right? People want to defend this monster over here, and we're not going to play them games. We're self-funded.
I think whenever
We're self-funded. We're self-made for a reason. Nobody pays us for any of this. We do what we want when we want, and I'm disgusted by what I just heard. But you know what? The silver lining and the best part about it is that God is in control, and Christ is Lord. And when you lean on Him, nothing else can really bother you. And I thank God that this young girl is leaning into her Bible. It don't sound like nobody told her to do so. She's quoting Hebrews, and you know what? That's amazing to see, because I know that word of God is perfect, and it will strengthen anyone that goes to it for guidance and help. Go ahead, sis.
No, I completely agree. Like, I just think that it takes such a brave soul to get up and tell your story. And whenever we were talking to her, you could tell that she wants to be really private on some things and all of that, but pretty much gave the whole story in front of the world, and is going to be doing so also on the news. And I have a problem with victim shaming. The more I thought about it, that I was going to walk into all of this non-biased and all that, I did to an extent, until I really started thinking, like, from my social work hat, that they had to have enough evidence to arrest her, whatever is going on. Maybe she won't ever be brought up on any kind of charges for Trinity or whatever, but Trinity's living her truth and speaking her truth. And
Amen.
so, I applaud her.
Yeah, and I'm gonna tell you right now, me and Nito America, my people, or me and Christy, we ain't gonna back down, and we're not gonna defend this woman. We're not gonna hold our mouths. If she wants to sue us, I don't really give a flip. I don't stand with people like this, so-called Christians that try to put a face out there that they're doing so much good for the community, making $9 million. And I mean, let's be honest, y'all. Thank God. I mean, if 9 people get help, good. But getting millions of dollars and being put on a pedestal for a semi-functioning, horrible nonprofit with 9 people. I mean, I think in other words, there's probably better places to donate your money and time than a place like this that doesn't even help anybody, and then 9 people at that. That's piss poor performance. I'm a performance guy. I'm about numbers, being effective, and 9 people at a nonprofit that suck up so much money from the government and from us and from the city. That's horrible. So I'm against this place. I might even go protest against them tomorrow if I feel like it. And I'm disgusted by this woman.
I don't think anybody's there.
Yeah, and anyone that supports her, shame on you. How you like them apples? It's disgusting. She
Michelle,
was arrested.
You said that this should be on the national news. I'm pretty sure this is going to make national news. Whenever I Googled this lady's name, I mean, it's spreading like wildfire.
Oh yeah.
It's just yeah.
She even said before we spoke to her, she said that she thinks it should be like a movie, right? She said it can be like a documentary. This probably could be one if they put it all together correctly. This is pretty disgusting.
That or a Lifetime movie.
Yeah, it's crazy. Anyways, thank y'all, everybody. I got to eat dinner. I left the table. I didn't even finish eating. We had the interview with Trinity. Thank you, Trinity, for giving us your time. She'll be speaking on the news, a couple news agencies Friday. She spoke to Homeland Security today, and she spoke to the Dallas News. I don't know if she's going to be on that, but Dallas News confirmed that this woman's nonprofit has made $9 million, and I would say for what? What a shame. How disgusting. So there it is, y'all. Christ is Lord. Christy, I'll be texting you in a minute. Thank you, everybody, for watching. We are out of here, and we thank you for your time. And God bless you. God bless, sis.
God bless. Everybody remember to say their prayers.
Amen. Christ is Lord. Depend on Him.
Amen.
Amen.